influence upon the people and his physical strength. After all my knowledge of Lincoln was exhausted, they seemed to be satisfied. I can hardly forget the great enthusiasm which they expressed in their wild thanks. This little incident proves how largely the name of Lincoln is worshipped throughout the world, and how legendary his personality has become. If a score of wild-looking riders in the remote Caucasus were so eager to learn about Lincoln, then surely we Americans should want to know him, too, even now in the 21st century, when he often seems as far away as he did to those horsemen. Why is his life still so worth knowing? One answer is his deeds as strong as the rock and as sweet as the fragrance of roses, as the chieftain put it. He led the effort to save the Union and free the slaves. For those actions alone, he deserves to be studied and remembered. Another answer lies in the principles he defended, especially those enshrined in the Declaration of Independence, his favorite founding document. Growing up on the American frontier, he soaked up the ideals that all are created equal and endowed by their Creator with the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. He fought for those ideals until his last breath. Lincoln once called America the last best hope of earth, a phrase I borrowed for the title of my history of the United States, America, the Last Best Hope, because it perfectly captures how millions have viewed this nation. Lincoln knew that throughout history, the vast majority of people had lived with little or no freedom under the rule of kings, emperors, and tyrants. He realized that the world had been waiting centuries for the kind of liberty America stood for. He believed that if the Union fractured and the American experiment failed, it would be a severe blow to worldwide hopes for freedom for a very long time. His wisdom regarding America and its principles is still worth learning. A third answer comes in the magnificent words he left behind. The late Lincoln scholar Don E. Fehrenbacher wrote that Lincoln's words have become part of the permanent literary treasure of the nation. Generations of schoolchildren have memorized the Gettysburg Address. One hopes that some still do. Millions have stood enraptured at the Lincoln Memorial, in the shadow of the giant statue of the seated Lincoln, reading the words of the Gettysburg Address and the second inaugural address carved on the memorial's walls. His words will live as long as the idea of America lives. The fourth answer to the question, why know this man's life, is his life itself. Tolstoy said that Lincoln's greatness expresses itself altogether in his peculiar moral power and in the greatness of his character. There is much to learn from the examples of the virtues he embodied. His perseverance is awe-inspiring. It was a trait he no doubt learned growing up on the frontier, where you either persevered or died. During the Civil War, he suffered through 4 years of loss and destruction. Many in the North were willing to give up. Not Lincoln. He used to compare himself to a man trying to keep a storm from blowing down his tent. He kept driving tent pegs into the ground as fast as the wind could pull them up. "I mean to keep pegging away, he told people. His boundless compassion was, I think, one reason he often struck people as looking sad. He reveled at any chance to pardon a soldier who had been court-martialed for falling asleep on duty or going home without leave to see his family. Slavery offended not only his great sense of justice, but his sense of compassion. It is no coincidence that the president who issued the Emancipation Proclamation was a man of tremendous empathy. He possessed a humble eagerness to learn. The boy who had less than a year of formal schooling really would walk miles on the Indiana frontier to lay his hands on a book. As president, he borrowed books from the Library of Congress to study up on military tactics. He was a great listener and chose his cabinet, which included political rivals, in part because he knew they were men from whom he could learn. We can't say that the man called Honest Abe never told a lie, but he was a man of the highest integrity. As a young fellow, he famously walked several miles to return 6 1/4 cents overpaid by a customer at the store where he clerked. A bit later,